The enemy thought they had trapped humanity, but humans saw emptiness not as nothing, but as possibility. It happened in the uncharted void between Regulus and Vega, a sector the Vulcans had always called the Silent Gulf. No stars bright enough to navigate, no planets to anchor supply lines, nothing but dark vacuum and scattered dust. To Vulcans it was a dead zone, strategically worthless. But it was there that a fleet of marauders cornered the young Federation, pushing Starfleet into the abyss with no terrain, no cover, no chance. The Vulcan Science Council watched with dread. Logic was clear. Without planets to shield behind or nebulae to mass signatures, the human fleet was doomed. Every simulation ended the same way: annihilation. The marauders outnumbered them 3-1. The humans had nowhere to run. But humans, as always, saw what no one else did. Captain Elias Mercer, yes, the same troublemaker from Corridon and Vega, commanded the Federation defense. His ships drifted in the dark, silent and powerless, as if resigned to fate. The marauders closed in, hungry for an easy kill. And then Mercer gave an order that made even his crew think he'd gone mad. Use the nothing. The humans turned emptiness into a weapon. They scattered drones programmed with chaotic engine flares, projecting false warp signatures across the void. They hurled dead satellites into improvised orbits, bouncing signals like mirrors in the dark. They vented plasma into trails that mimicked entire fleets, forcing the marauders to chase phantoms while the real ships slipped away unseen. But the most audacious move came when Mercer ordered every ship into a blackout. No lights, no transmissions, engines cold. They became shadows in the void, hiding in the one place no Vulcan ever would. Perfect, absolute nothing. The marauders panicked. Their scanners lit up with ghosts, fleets where none existed, shadows that fired and vanished, ships that seemed to multiply in every direction. They unleashed barrage after barrage into empty space, tearing holes in the void while the real humans drifted past unseen. At the perfect moment, the Resolute ignited its engines in a sudden flare, blinding enemy sensors. Human ships sprang from the dark like predators from an ambush, striking where the marauders were weakest. It wasn't superior firepower, it was theater, deception, imagination. The battle ended in chaos, not for the humans, but for their enemies. Outnumbered, outgunned, and still victorious, humanity had turned emptiness into strategy. The Vulcans were stunned. To them, empty space was absence. To humans, it was canvas. Vulcan tacticians later admitted that no model could have predicted such a tactic because no Vulcan would have thought of it. The very idea of using nothing as something was alien to their logic. What the Vulcans saw that day was more than cunning. It was creativity under fire. It was the human gift of transforming void into potential, chaos into advantage. That was the moment Vulcans realized. Humanity's strength was not just resilience, not just courage. It was invention. Even when given nothing, humans made something. Ambassador Tavel would later write, "Where we saw void, they saw possibility. Where we surrendered, they imagined. It is a dangerous quality, but it is also the reason we survive." The Battle of Empty Space became a legend in Federation history, not because of the ships saved or the enemies defeated, but because it proved a truth the Vulcans could no longer deny. Humans did not need stars to guide them. They could light their own. And so, when asked why Vulcans let humans lead, they sometimes told this story. Because when the galaxy itself offered nothing, humans created a future anyway.